So it's time for my opinion segment. How can WWE make every championship matter again? In recent years, WWE's championship landscape has grown more crowded than ever. Yet, many titles feel forgotten or underutilized. Fans tune in expecting drama, prestige, and meaningful stakes, but too often, belts sit idle while storylines move on without them. If championships are meant to represent the pinnacle of competition, then they should be defended regularly and treated as more than props. So, how can WWE make every title matter again? It starts with consistency, creativity, and a renewed focus on what makes these prizes worth fighting for. The core problems with WWE's championship landscape. Despite having some of the most iconic titles in wrestling history, WWE struggles to maintain their relevance. Here are the key issues. Too many belts, not enough spotlight. WWE currently has two world titles, the undisputed WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. Men and women. So that's 4. Intercontinental Championship, United States, men and women. So that's another 4. So that's a total of 8 right now. We have Raw Tag Team Champions or World Tag Team Champions. And we have WWE Tag Team Champions for the men's on each brand. So that's 10. And we have the Women's Tag Team Championship that is defended on all brands. So that's 11. This abundance can lead to neglect. For example, the women's tag title have repeatedly gone weeks without appearing on TV, making fans question their relevance. Inconsistent defenses. Championships should feel like the ultimate prize, but some reigns lack urgency. A prime example is Roman Reigns' undisputed WWE Championship run. While historic, he defended the title only a handful of times in 2023, leaving months of programming without a world title match. Similarly, the U.S. title, before Sami Zayn won it from Solo Sikoa, often disappeared for long stretches. Storylines that ignore titles. WWE frequently prioritizes personal feuds or celebrity angles over championship narratives. When belts become props instead of central stakes, fans stop caring about who holds them. Uneven brand representation. Certain belts dominate one show while others vanish. For example, the Intercontinental Championship under Gunther was heavily featured on Raw in 2023, while the US title barely got TV time. This imbalance makes some divisions feel irrelevant and confuses fans about which championship matters most. Short-term booking over long-term prestige. Hot-shotting titles for shock value erodes credibility. A clear example of this is the 24/7 championship, which became a comedy gimmick rather than a legitimate prize. Even major belts suffer, like when the women's tag titles changed hands multiple times in quick succession in 2022, making reigns feel meaningless. How can WWE make every championship matter again? Well, they have to commit to regular defenses. So the world titles, men and women, should be defended primarily on premium live events. This keeps them special and makes PLEs feel like much must-watch events. The mid-card titles, defended regularly on weekly shows, Raw and SmackDown. These belts should be the workhorse championships, showcasing rising stars and strong in-ring action. Include defenses on the 4 major PLEs, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and the Royal Rumble, especially when those events finish expanding to 2 nights. Right now, it's not possible on Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, but when they expand those 2 events to 2 nights, which I think is coming, those 4 titles should be defended on those events. So WWE should make titles central for storylines. Championships should be the heart of WWE narratives. Instead of feuds that ignore belts, almost every rivalry should connect to the desire for gold. Example, Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign worked because challengers were portrayed as hungry for the title, not just personal grudges. For tag teams, revive their prestige. Now, on Raw, it's being done right now. Make the belts feel like a badge of honor, not just props. Balance brand representation. Every title should feel equally important across both brands. And have the champions appear on television almost every week when the storyline allows for it. Feature title defenses on both Raw and SmackDown. Avoid situations where one belt dominates TV while another disappears, like the US title often does. Showcase divisions consistently. Women's titles, tag titles, and mid-card belts should all have defined roles and visibility. And establish clear divisions with flexibility for star power. Championships work best when fans understand their purpose. Mid-card titles should primarily showcase rising stars and strong in-ring talent, while world titles remain the pinnacle for top-tier competitors. However, there's room for flexibility. Occasional main eventers holding mid-card titles, this can elevate the belt's prestige and create fresh storylines. An example of that is Becky Lynch's Intercontinental Championship run. It made the title feel important and gave her a meaningful arc outside the world title picture. Define hierarchy without restriction. While mid-card belts should mostly highlight emerging talent, sprinkling in established stars keeps division dynamic and prevents titles from feeling secondary. Tag team division integrity. Keep tag titles exclusive to teams, not thrown together single stars unless the story truly calls for it. This prevents the division's identity. This preserves the division's identity and credibility. Prioritize long-term booking over shock value. One of the WWE's biggest missteps is sacrificing title prestige for short-term rating props. Quick, meaningless title changes might create buzz for a night, but they erode credibility over time. Instead, build meaningful reigns. Champions should have arcs that tell a story of dominance, resilience, or redemption. Gunther's historic Intercontinental run is a perfect example of how consistency elevates a belt. Avoid hot-shotting titles. Resist the temptation to swap belts for surprise moments, unless it serves a larger narrative. Frequent changes make championships feel like props instead of prizes. Now, in my booking room segment later, I will demonstrate how this is not always true. Plan ahead for big payoffs. Map out long-term feuds where the title is the ultimate goal. Fans invest more when they see a clear journey toward championship glory. Use transitional reigns strategically. If a quick title change is necessary, make sure it fits the storyline and doesn't undermine the belt's importance. Prestige comes from patience and storytelling, not chaos. When titles feel earned, not handed out for shock value, fans care more about who holds them. Use premium live events strategically to elevate the titles. Not every championship needs to be defended on every PLE, but WWE should create a clear structure that makes sense for fans and talents. World titles defend these almost exclusively on PLEs. This keeps them feeling special and ensures big matches happen on the biggest stages. Tag team titles. Restore their prestige by giving them compelling storylines and consistent defenses on Raw and SmackDown. Guarantee their presence on the 4 major PLEs, with occasional defenses on other PLEs when the story calls for it. Mid-card titles, US and Intercontinental. Make these the workhorse belts of weekly programming. Defend them regularly on Raw and SmackDown to keep the shows exciting. And feature them on the 4 major PLEs, especially when those events expand to 2 nights. This approach gives mid-card titles a strong identity without overshadowing world titles. This system creates a clear hierarchy. World titles, marquee attraction. Tag titles, consistent prestige over cross TV and big events. Mid-card titles, weekly excitement and occasional PLE spotlight. So my personal solutions are, so here's what I would do to make WWE's title matter again. World titles, you keep them on the PLE exclusive to maintain their aura. Tag team titles, give them strong storylines, regular defenses on Raw and SmackDown, plus guaranteed spots on the 4 major PLEs when all 4 go to 2-night formats. Mid-card titles, make them the backbone of weekly programming with defenses on Raw and SmackDown and appearances on the 4 major PLEs when all those events go to 2 nights. Restore prestige. Stop treating titles like props. Every belt should feel like a prize worth fighting for, not just a storytelling accessory. In conclusion, championships are the lifeblood of WWE. They represent achievement, prestige, and the ultimate goal for every superstar. When titles are treated as afterthoughts, the entire product suffers. By committing to regular defenses, making championships central to storylines, balancing brand representation, and using PLEs strategically, WWE can restore the importance of every belt. Fans want stakes that matter, and wrestlers deserve prices that feel earned. With a clear structure and long term vision, WWE can make every championship not just a prop, but a symbol of excellence once again. So, what do you think? Should WWE focus on fixing the mid card titles first? Or overhaul the tag division to bring back its glory days? Drop your thoughts